want a massage. Go into the spa with your girl to get a massage.
Make that move right now, baby. Make that move right now, baby.
So many times by holding back I let the good things pass me by. And then one day I asked myself the reason why. And like an answer from above, you came into my life and showed me what.
What's up, y'all? That's the shit right there. I like that. Taking y'all back with that Shalimar. What y'all know about that Shalimar? What y'all know about the Howard Hewitt shag? Let me bump this some more. I like that. Anyway, y'all, what's up, man? Welcome back to another episode of the Mack Lessons Radio Show. And I'm your host. My name is Mr. TN, that nigga, Tariq King Flex Nasheed. Glad to have everybody tuning back in. Today's show is brought to you by MackLessons.com. That's where you can get all your Macking needs. And I am back from my vacation in Hawaii. I was in Hawaii for a week. Had to go over there and get me a little snorkeling, get me a little tan, get me a little pineapple juice. All my players out there, y'all have to go to Hawaii, man. There's some fine, thick little ass Hawaiian females out there, man. Y'all have to go to Hawaii. Go down to Honolulu, Waikiki, hit up some of those clubs, hit up Zanzibar. Hawaii has a lot of nice, thick ones out there, homie, for real. If you want to get a little change of your environment. That's one of my favorite spots, man. I go out there and get my mind right and get my black on. I look like Billy Blanks like a motherfucker. Well, my neighbors are trying to get Tybo tapes off my ass. I'm black as hell right now. But god damn it, I digress. Anyway, y'all, we're going to chop up good game on today's show. Today's show, I'm going to talk about the top 10 most underrated females in Hollywood. A few weeks ago, I had a controversial list of overrated females in Hollywood. A lot of motherfuckers had hissy fits, and they got into a little emotional tissies. And a lot of people asked me, well, what do you like? What do you think is underrated? What females do you think should get more shine out there? And I'm going to talk about that on today's show. I have a list of women who I feel are underrated out here in the Hollywood game. And before I get into that, I'm going to get into a couple of other things. The Bullshistory special is now available at MackLessons.com. You can purchase the Bullshistory special and download it and keep it and listen to it on the regular. Go to MackLessons.com and get that now. And I've been getting a lot of great responses for the last show I did about the CNN special. A lot of people like that show. And what I'm going to do, because I got a lot of sisters. Now, sisters want to talk about solutions. Because I talk about some of the shortcomings that a lot of sisters have been demonstrating lately. So a lot of sisters are emailing me like, okay, well, we shouldn't point the finger. We should talk about solutions, which is very funny because y'all been throwing brothers under the bus for a minute. Now that brothers getting on your cases a little bit, now y'all want to talk about solutions. And I'm all about solutions, but it's just funny that you want to talk about solutions now. So I have a special, a pay-per-view special that's going to be available on Monday, August 11th. Called Message to Black Women, and you can pre-order that on MackLessons.com now. That's going to be a very important show. Let me put on some Mackin music. Hold on, let me put on some Mackin music real quick. But like I said, we're going to have that special on Monday, August 11th, which is next week. All the sisters, y'all should really listen to that show. That show is going to be very good. It's going to talk about solutions and things you can do to get your shit right and why things are a certain way. It's going to be a very important message to all black women. And brothers, y'all listen to the show too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all listen to the show too. You guys order the show because there's going to be a good message in there for you. But sisters, this shit should be mandatory because I'm going to drop some real deep shit for the sisters out there. All your mothers, daughters, y'all need to gather around and listen to that show Monday. Message to black women. Y'all gonna hear the real shit, not that brown nose and TD Jakes, Tyler Perry shit, which I'm not, they do what they do and I'm not mad at them. But you guys are going to hear the real deal from me. And it's going to be constructive. I'm not just going to get on your cases. It's going to be some real constructive stuff. It's going to be a very good message. So don't forget to get that. Now, again, like I was saying, fellas, y'all need to hit up Hawaii. Another place on my next vacation spot, I got to hit up Africa. I'm going to hit up Egypt, and I think I'm going to hit up Kenya. So if anybody has been there before or people from there, hit me up. Give me a little insight. Let me know what's popping over there a little bit so I can kind of have a prerequisite of what I'm going to do and how I need to roll out there. And I want some of my black folks to do it because white folks, when y'all talk about other places and vacation spots, y'all, white folks, y'all put so much extra shit on it, especially when it comes to dealing with people of color. Whenever white people talk about going to other countries or dealing with people of color, everything is always exaggerated with white folks. Like when I went to Brazil, before I went to Brazil, I would hear all these horror stories from white folks. Like, oh my God, don't go out at night. Don't take a camera. And that's why you never really see video footage of everyday life in Brazil because people are scared to walk around with video cameras. And I did my pay-per-view special, Mack Lessons in Brazil, which you can get on MackLessons.com. And it was no problem. I videotaped and it was no problem at all. But white folks make shit extra exaggerated. Oh, you're going to get kidnapped. They're going to take you and rob you and they're going to rape you. It was totally cool down there. It was totally cool. So I want some of my brothers to let me know what it's like over there in Kenya and Africa and Egypt and just give me a little heads up on what's popping. Where to go, where not to go. Because I go in there, I got to blend in because I heard over there in some of those poor countries over there in Africa, I mean, they be campaigning, they be begging, they be, be patting pockets down, so I kind of want to blend in. I ain't taking no jewelry, none of that shit, no cash. I'm not even cutting my hair, I'm going to let my hair knot up, I'm going to get ashy. I'm going to go over there bumping an Akon CD. I'm trying to do whatever the fuck I need to do to blend in. Fuck that. But I digress. Anyway, so let's get to today's game. Like I said, today's show is about the top 10 most underrated females in Hollywood. And let me put on some more Mackin music. Alright, on the list, number 10 of underrated women in Hollywood, the R&B singer who hasn't had a record out in a while. Well, she has had a record out. Ciara, she had a record out. When? What was her last record? What was her last hit? But Ciara is very underrated. Ciara, and I've talked about Ciara before. Ciara is very, very sexy to me. Ciara is a very, very, very sexy young lady. I like her. I like her swagger. She can dance. She's not no Aretha Franklin type singer, but she can hold a note, and she's very, very, very sexy. Very toned. I like that. I don't think she gets enough props. Number 9 of underrated women in Hollywood, the actress who was in the Last Friday movie, Katie Albert. I think that's her pronunciation of her last name. But you guys know who she is. She was Money Mike's bottom bitch in the Friday movie. Very cute young lady. we need to see more of her. The last thing I saw her in was what, Soul Plane? And I think she can act. I mean, shit. Very cute young lady. Very cute. She needs to be doing more stuff. Now, number 8 of underrated women in Hollywood. And I noticed this looking at VH1 a few days ago. That it was a show that's kind of cheesy. Show called I Need Money, I Love Money. What's that shit? I Love Money, I Need Money. It's one of those. But the reality TV personality, Hoops, I think Hoops is very underrated. Hoops is very attractive. Hoops is very sexy. She has a round-the-way attractiveness that's not hood radish. Like, when I did the show about overrated women, like Lauren London, she's cute, but she's like, is hood radish, though. And that kind of diminishes the cuteness. You feel what I'm saying? But Hoops has that around-the-way girl look. She's very cute. Body is fucking banging. Cute smile. Cool-ass personality. Very underrated young lady. Now, number 7 of underrated women in Hollywood is the actress Eva Mendes. Now, she gets some of her props, but Eva Mendes is a very sexy chick. Very, very sexy chick. She has a lot of sex appeal. Because in the looks department, she's about, I would say a 7. But the sex appeal brings it up a notch. It brings her to about an 8.5. Very sexy, spicy Latina. I liked her in Training Day. She's very sexy in Training Day. Now, number 6 of underrated women in Hollywood is Zoe Saldana. Zoe is cute. Zoe is very cute. Zoe has a cute little sex appeal to her. What's up, Zoe? Number 5 of underrated women in Hollywood. And I think this young lady is very slept on. And I've been noticing she's been getting sexier and sexier lately. That's Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child. Kelly Rowland, that's a nice little piece of chocolate. I like my little chocolate females like that. I like them slim with a nice little bubble on them. That's how I like my chocolate. I like them slim like that. Got a nice little bubble ass, not all big and sloppy. No. Just right. Them slim chocolate ones with those bubbles, they have the best tang. You know what I'm saying? They got the best. And people say that Kelly Rowland, I think she has had some surgical enhancements. I think she had a nose job and might have got her teeth fixed or whatever, but shit, it works. I saw that movie, it was a movie she was in on Showtime called The Seat Filler. Very sexy in that movie. Very, very sexy in that movie. And she's really overrated. Because she's standing next to Beyonce, and a lot of times she's compared to Beyonce because they were in the same group, and Beyonce is such a mega superstar. It's kind of hard for Kelly to get her shine next to that. Beyonce is like that 1 in 20 years type of celebrity who can just do it all, and it's kind of hard for Kelly to get her shine. But Kelly's in the game, though. She will get the dickness with the quickness. Now, another female who's very attractive and got a nice little bubble on her is Vanessa Simmons from Run's house. Run's daughter, the oldest one. That's a very attractive young lady. I saw her in a restaurant out here in Beverly Hills a few weeks ago. And she had a nice little cut of ass on her. And I've been kind of checking her lately. I'm like, okay, she's making it do what it do. But Vanessa Simmons is very attractive. Very cute chick. Very underrated. I think people underestimate her attractiveness because she's Run's daughter, you know. Now, another one who's very attractive, number 3 on the list of underrated females in Hollywood, the singer Carrie Hilson. That's a sexy chick. Love the legs. Got some nice, thick, toned legs. Cute face. not overly glamorous, real cute, very sexy chick. The legs are killing them though. She's killing them with the legs. Very underrated. Now, number 2 of underrated women in Hollywood is the singer Cassie. Well, singer, I use singer in quotations. I don't think she can really sing. I've heard some shit. You know, she can carry a note in the studio, but she's fine than a motherfucker. Cassie is fine as hell. Beautiful face. I don't know what that broad is mixed with, but she's beautiful goddamn face. She needs to be in more movies. I see she's doing a lot of modeling lately, but that's a very attractive woman. A lot of people underestimate her shit too. And number 1 on the list of attractive, underrated females in Hollywood is Nicole from the Pussycat Dolls. And I can't even think of her goddamn last name. It's Schlesinger, whatever the fuck it is. She's very underrated. That's a fine motherfucker. She's fine as hell. And I think her solo thing really hasn't blown up because of that last name. They need to do something about her last name because the shit is hard to pronounce. Schlesinger, they call her as Nikki S or something. They need to change her last name so she can blow up because she's fine as hell. She needs to shine. And the Pussycat Dolls is such a goofy group. And I've always said this. I talked about the Pussycat Dolls a couple of years ago. I went to a concert out here in Los Angeles, and it was Snoop Dogg, Pussycat Dolls, and a couple other people. And the Pussycat Dolls were just goddamn awful. And I knew somebody in that group sucked somebody's dick up at Interscope Records to get a record deal. But she stood out. She's always stood out with that group. And that's a fine motherfucker. And she doesn't get the shine that she deserves. Sometimes these women might be a little bit too fine. And they might be intimidating to the audience. Because a lot of women of color, when they're too fine, they get hated on by not only blacks, but they get hated on by whites as well. With few exceptions, like Halle Berry, she's generally accepted by everybody because she's the quote-unquote tragic mulatto. But a lot of really attractive women of color, they intimidate audiences. Like white folks, especially the white women, especially like if you look at daytime television, whenever there's a woman of color, it's always like a fat mammy. They like their mammies on TV. So like black women, they won't get intimidated by like Oprah or Mother Love or somebody like that, and white folks aren't intimidated by that. I know a few years ago there was a show, I think Forgive or Forget, some corny ass show, and I think the host of it was this chick named Mother Love. And what they did, they got rid of Mother Love for some reason. I think the ratings were real low, or something happened. I don't know what happened. Then they tried to replace her with Robin Givens. And when Robin Givens got on there, that shit really tanked. Because a lot of white women can't identify with Robin Givens. White women don't want to be, they don't want to see no real fine ass black chick. Something about that. White women don't really like no fine ass black chick. White women like their mammies. They like the Oprahs and they like the Whoopies. Oh, they love Whoopi. They love a mammy. Like in Gone with the Wind, Hattie McDaniel. They love their mammies. But they don't want their white husbands lusting after no goddamn Robin Givens, because he white dudes be having them Robin Givens fantasies. They like them slim chocolate ones. I'm gonna talk about that more in depth on the Message to Black Women show. I'm gonna go more into depth about that. So you guys go to MackLessons.com and order that show. Anyway, that's been today's episode of the Mack Lessons Radio Show. It was a very quick show tonight. late night show, Chop Up Game. Let everybody know I'm back. Hope everybody got your postcards that I sent. I sent out a whole bunch of postcards when I was in Hawaii. Don't forget to check out MackLessonsRadio.com to hear all the old shows. MySpace.com/Tariq_Nasheed. I will holler at you players in a moment. Peace.